We're going to test the microphone. This one's working.
Hello, Soyeon Liu here. Hello.
All right. And we'll get this started. I think it's recording there, which is good. All right. All right, welcome everyone inside the Virtual Media Center here at the LPGA Mediheal Championship. Once again, we do ask that you keep yourself muted, and if you have any questions for So-Yeon, please let me know in the chat function so that I can call on you when we get to opening it up. But without further ado, So-Yeon, how are you doing on this fine San Francisco afternoon?
Well, we were in San Francisco last week too, and then, always, US Women's Open is true challenging. It's a really stressful week, but I had a lot of fun. But at the same time, I needed to have a break yesterday, so I had a full day off. I went to San Francisco downtown to visit really famous bakery. That was unbelievable, that having cheese croissant, and I just slept a lot, eat a lot of good food, and then I came out this golf course this morning and then played 9 holes, some putting, some hit some ball, and then here I am now.
Take me through your experience last week, the second major championship of the year, and a major that is close to your heart. How do you walk away from last week?
I really enjoyed that golf course. Well, even though I didn't play an amazing golf, I really enjoyed every single thing, and then all of the tournament, I think just from the beginning to the end, everything was just so awesome, hospitality and everything, especially the golf course was awesome. I think just because people keep telling me it's a really, really tough golf course, I think it's kind of stuck in my mind a bit too much, and then just automatically nervous about it before I tee it off. So that's the only one thing I regret. I did my best to bring up my A game, even though I couldn't, and then I think it was really windy last week, and then I sort of lost my swing key, so I didn't really hit well as I wanted to, so that's a bit of disappointment. But I think I started with the bogey on Sunday, which was, I wasn't in a good place, but I finished strong, so I really want to, telling myself to what, even though that's not the result you were expecting, you fought it all the way through, and then that's all about it. So I am really proud of myself, and hopefully I can find my swing key back for this week.
We were just walking over here. You told me that you played 9 holes, but you said, I know this course. What is it about coming back here to Mediheal that most excites you about playing at Lake Merced again?
I think especially the last week, because I feel I never played that golf course before, so I felt like I really needed to know everything about the golf course. But we actually played golf course few years, probably more than 5 years, so I know I can expect where the whole location is going to be, and then what's the danger, and then where is a good miss, where is a bad miss, so I actually can pick and choose what kind of practice I need to have. But last week was I didn't know what exact shot I need to prepare, so I really had to do everything what I have. But I think this week I just generally enjoy this golf course a lot. It's really beautiful golf course, and then I think maybe because of last week I felt rough is a bit shorter than usual, so that made me feel a little bit comfortable to smashing the driver, smashing the tee shot a little bit more with more confidence. And then I think the golf course is in great shape, greens rolling really pure as well. So all I need to do is just keep believe what I can do, and then just bring out my A game, and then just praying with the freedom.
All right. We'll pass it over. Steve, I know you have a couple questions.
So in 11 appearances in the U.S. Women's Open, you have never finished outside the top 25. What is it about that championship that brings out the best in you?
I think, also my mindset is a little different. When you're on the golf course, when you make a bogey, you're really disappointed. Of course, even when I make a bogey at the US Women's Open, of course I'm disappointing. But at the same time, I know I still have a chance. Like I said, on Sunday, even though I started with the bogey, 3 over is actually not already looking great after 3 holes. But you still have a chance to get some birdies, and then you still have a chance to climb up a little bit of it, because everybody struggled too. And then because it's challenging golf course, I always feel like I need to learn something new, and then I always try to think about what this golf course really want me to, how this golf course want me to play. I never really play against the golf course or try to beat the golf course. I'm always trying to listen what golf course telling me to do.
You've played on golf courses like this, like last week, where par is a good score, and you've won on golf courses where I think you shot 62 or 61 in Arkansas. What was it? What was that number?
Yeah, I think 62.
62.
Yeah.
It was just a terrific round. So you've had to go low, and you've had to play where par is a good score. What suits your game better?
I honestly prefer to play challenging golf course instead of you have to make a birdie every 2 holes because I think like when I'm playing the golf course a bit easier than major golf course, I feel like okay, you have to make a birdie all the time, and then I think my mindset, like I'm easily very disappointed with like missing the birdie putt or like missing the really like easy shot kind of stuff. But I think when I'm playing challenging golf course, my mindset is more like relaxed, and then that's what I really want to be like at the easier golf course too. But I think just because of this mindset, I think I prefer to play challenging golf course.
This is a challenging golf course
It is,
in
for
that
sure.
it is a ball striker's golf course. It's old design. You've got a lot of placement. What is it about a place like this that suits you?
I think especially this week, tee shot is really important because obviously we have a lot of trees out there, and then a lot of trees actually coming into the fairway, so you have to know how to avoid the tree, like you have to go around the tree. And like once again, I'm always enjoying to like shaping a golf ball instead of just like hitting it straight. I honestly feel like I don't know how to hit it straight anymore because since I really enjoy the shaping the golf ball, I always hit it like draw or like fade. I never really tried to hit it straight. So that fact really made me enjoy this golf course, and then I hope I'm going to enjoy it again this week too.
All right, with that, I'll open it up to Barry. Barry, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Yeah. When you're talking about lows, you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. You were talking about going really low. You do have the course record here at Lake Merced, is that not correct?
Yeah, actually, I was actually surprised I was able to shot really low score right here because even though I love this golf course, I always consider this golf course as one of the toughest golf courses we ever played. This golf course definitely have potential to host a major as well. So I was actually in shock to see myself to like when I shot 63. I was like, oh my god, like did I really shot 63? But I think when you're in your zone, like you don't even know like how many birdies what you made, and then I think that's what I did. And then after I finished the round, like everybody came to me like, "Oh, so you just set this course record?" And I was like, "Did I? Like, what did I shoot?" Like I didn't even know. I think that kind of mindset is what I need to play this week. Like I just want to think about the present. I feel like these days I'm kind of like worrying too much, like what if I'm going to miss this putt, like what if I'm going to miss this fairway, like I think like so much if is going on in my head. So I really hope I can have that same attitude as when I shot 63 at here.
It's been more than 2 decades since Sarah won the U.S. Open. We hear so much how inspirational she's been to all the other Korean players that have come, and a little bit with Grace Park as well. Do you know them? Have you played golf with them? Do you have a relationship with them? Talk about their influence.
Yeah, like these days, Sari's on TV a lot. She does a lot of reality shows, so it's kind of weird to see her like without the golf club on TV. But yeah, you're definitely right. Like she definitely opened up the door for a lot of the Koreans, and then not just Sari, like you mentioned, there's like Grace Park, like Hee-Wan Han, like JJ, like so many of Korean player has been on the tour, and then still like we have a lot of Korean players on the tour. Actually that made me feel much more comfortable to traveling like all around the world, because at least like, you can speak to someone in your country's language, which is Korean, and then at least you can have someone to go to Korean restaurant together too. So that made huge difference. And then I actually quite often meet Grace Park and Hee-Wan Han when I'm in Korea, and then they're always telling us the story about like how they played like back in the day, and then they're always telling us, like when you're on the tour, that's the best time of your life. So just please enjoy it, and then don't think about that life is really too tough, and that life is too tough. And then like it's kind of like I know they're true, but when you're on the tour and then when you're like struggle, like when you're suffer, like it's really hard to believe what they're saying. But I agree with them. I'm doing what I love, and then I got the chance to travel all around the world, and I got the chance to play beautiful golf courses. So I really feel blessed to have my job, and then I feel really blessed to have somebody like Grace or Hewan to telling me to like what you have is amazing, because sometimes like you're easy to forget about what you have.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Barry. Ron, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Great. Thanks for the time. I have just two quick questions. You look at the leaderboard at the Women's Open, and Yuka obviously wins at 19, Nas is 22, Magagani was in contention at 17 all week. What does that say about the state of the tour, and why do you think these young players are able, are equipped to play so well and contend on that kind of stage?
Yeah, like you mentioned that, like you can see a lot of the young players. I think, well, also like first of all, like when I was in Olympic Club last week, it was just feel weird to talking about like my win at the Broadmoor has been 10 years. Like it just felt me like, oh my god, I'm so old. But I know that I'm not too old. But every time when I seeing the girls like 18 years old, like 19 years old, like I'm like, oh my god, they're so great. They're such a great golfer. And then I also like had to talk about it with quite a lot of my friends like Imbi, Danielle, and then the thing I figured it out is like when I was young, I didn't really know about any scientific thing behind the golf. Like I never really learned about like what's the club head speeds like you have to shot. I mean you have to have more than I don't know like 98 per mile of speed, like whatever. I didn't really know anything about the science. I just hit the ball and then I just see the shot. That's how I learned to play golf. But I think the younger generation, like they already know how to train better and then how to swing better, and then they also learn how to swing better to hit longer. So I want to say if you think about someone born later than 1995, I feel like they have better golf swing than like my generation, and then their driving average is definitely longer than our driving our like my generation's driving distance average. I think it's not about the physical difference. I think that's how we grew up and then how we learn to like swing the club. So like to be honest, I'm actually quite nervous when I'm playing with them because they're literally like 50 yards ahead of me. But at the same time, like golf is not just all about the distance, and then actually that's the part I really want to see, like LPGA going to set up the golf course wisely. I just don't want to see golf just became everything's about the distance and putting. Like I think we just need to set up the golf course wisely to bring out all the charming things about golf.
Well, this course is one that is not all about driving, right?
Yeah, I totally agree with it. I think that's why I love this golf course. This golf course definitely require to all sort of shot, tee shot to the green. Everything's very important. So I hope we can have more golf courses like this, and then I hope also people know like distance is not all about the golf.
And one other question. You've obviously won majors. Lexi, I mean, all great players have won majors and also had chances that slipped away, like it did Sunday for Lexi. How do you bounce back from that? I mean, here she is. She's going to tee it up 3 days later, 4 days later. How difficult is it to bounce back from a big disappointment like that? And when that's happened to you, when you've let a lead get away, what have you done to kind of get back on track quickly?
For me, the best way is just not thinking about the golf and then not even touch the golf club. But like you mentioned, she's gonna tee it off on Thursday here, so I'm sure it's gonna be really tough, especially when you just slipped at the U.S. Men's Open, not even just regular tournament. Winning a U.S. Men's Open is very special. I'm sure like she knows it too. I know like it's gonna make her even tougher, but I think she's been professionally golf for long enough time to how to figure it out, and I also know like she's not just thinking about the U.S. Men's Open. She's thinking about any other the golf tournament as same important as U.S. Men's Open. So I'm sure she's gonna put her best effort to playing really well this week, and because she's great enough player, like one day she might have chance to play. I mean, to win the U.S. Men's Open again. This last week was not our last US Women's Open. Like Lexi still had plenty of time to playing many of the US Women's Open. So we'll see. I'm sure like she has a lot of good people around her to cheer her up, and then she'll be all right.
Thanks very much.
All right, thank you, Ron. Kent, I'll pass it off to you.
So, Ann, you've talked about how into working out you've been seeing that extra distance from your competitors off the tee. Is that working out trying to get more distance into your game in order to hang with how far they're hitting it now?
I'm sure, like, it's just not. It's not just about other players. Like, just every year, like, if I'm look back, like, 10 years ago, even, like, 15 years ago, every time after I finish my season, like, during the off season, I always think, like, okay, what's going to be the goal for next year? I want to hit 10 yards further. I want to hit 15 yards further. That was always has been our homework since we started to play golf. So it's not just about the comparison. I think every golfer have desire to hit it longer. But at the same time, I mean, I could say this because Imbi's one of my best friend. Like, to be honest, she's not long hitter. Like, maybe she's shorter than average, but she's still number 2 in the world, and then she still won the tournament. So that proved that distance is not everything. So I actually, it's kind of good to have Imbi like keep playing well as a not long hitter, because you could learn like this is not all about it. Like, let's focus on what I can do better instead of what I cannot really do it. Like, what I mean is, like, maybe I can hit 5 yards longer, but I know, like, I'm never gonna hit long like Patty. Like, even after 5 years or 10 years, like, I know, like, no matter how much workout I'm going to do it, I cannot hit like Lexi. So I just rather focus on what I can do better, like putting or like iron shot, chipping. So every player have a different talent, and even though I'm always trying hard to do something better I cannot do, I just don't want to focus on one particular things.
And when you did your pre-tournament presser here in 2019, you explained how much pressure having the financial support of your sponsors takes off your shoulders and lets you focus on golf. How does that help you on the course, and how does it hurt, some of your competitors who may not have the financial support you have from sponsors?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you to all the sponsors who support all the LPGA players. Also, a lot of the people has been asking me like why Korean players so good at golf, and then I think one of the most important reason behind is because we always having really good support from our home country. Like, most of Korean players have sponsors, like financially support from them, and then they don't really need to worry about the money. Like, they could focus on just golf. I think just dealing with the golf is already tough, but if you have to think about the financial thing behind, I think it's gonna be tougher. But at the same time, because they're one of my biggest supporter, I want to do everything what I could do better for them. So that one definitely made me feel like, okay, I want to play really well at this week. But I also know it's not about like what I'm playing for. It's just more about how I'm going to play. So I am not gonna lie, I'm definitely gonna have extra pressure, but I'm gonna try to focus on what I can do instead of what I cannot handle.
All right. I think that will do it for us here. We've got to get Soyeon to a photo call. So thank you guys for joining us, and thank you, Soyeon.
Thank you.